Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin and this is my channel all about my personal finance. So today we're going to just dive right into the spreadsheet, and my bright shiny face will catch you in the next video. We're just doing a voiceover today. So I am going to go over how I spent my money in November. If you can't remember, I did post a budget with me in November showing you what I planned to do. So here I am just letting y'all know and holding myself accountable to what I actually did do with my money. So let's dive in. First and foremost, we always do housing and utilities because they're the most important things to get paid. So my half of the mortgage was $444.95. My half of electricity was less than expected at $74.50, so that was great. Came in under a little bit there. Water, internet, and trash were all the typical $10, $18, $23, and $14 respectively. And that is all those together that I just mentioned are half of the bill. I split everything with my partner currently. And then lastly, in my bills section, I always include my phone because I consider that a necessity. So that was $37.82, and I did check. That is what they charged me. So for some strange reason, it was 7 cents lower than it has been for months. So weird, but I'll take it. Next up, we have my auto section. So for auto insurance, I budgeted $152. It ended up being $151.90. And if you're new here, I do have two vehicles, both fully insured with above average liability coverage. So it is expensive. I know it could be cheaper, but it's just gonna be what it is for a while because I want to keep my car safe. I want to keep myself safe. You know, God forbid anything horrible happen. I feel safer knowing that it's all covered. So anywho, next up we have fuel. One of those lovely vehicles I own is a diesel, so the fuel's a little bit more pricey, but it does last a long time because I work from home, so I don't have to drive that much. So life's pretty good, and I was able to stay under that $150 budget for fuel, even in a month where we were traveling quite a bit more than we normally would due to family events and stuff. So did great there. Came in under by $385. I'll take it. Next up, we'll get into my debt section here. I do pay on one of my vehicles. One is paid off, the other one is not. So I have an auto loan payment of $290 a month. Now, I have paid a lot extra on this. That is my thing I'm focusing on with debt payoff is that car loan. So my minimum is just an arbitrary number at this point because I'm so far ahead on payments, but I do still pay that minimum number for the peace of mind, I guess. So I paid $290. And then I was able to go ahead and put $500 extra to it, and that was according to plan. So I didn't get to do any extra, but I'm still very happy that I hit the goal. And then for care credit, I pay on a care credit that my mom has because I paid for her dentures because she's lovely and her smile is worth it. And so that's $80. That's not actually the minimum payment. It is the minimum needed to pay the card off without interest accruing. So if you know anything about care credit, don't worry, I am getting it paid before interest accrues. Next up, we get into food, and I've said it and said it and said it. Food is just really, really hard to stick to, and 2022 has just been tough. So I budgeted $325 optimistically for our grocery budget, and I say our because I do a lot of the grocery shopping for the household, and then my partner kind of does I'll do one big trip to stock back up once or twice a month, and then he does the smaller trips where we want fresh vegetables or we're out of milk and all that stuff. So usually it evens out, and most of the time when we eat out he pays. That's why my restaurant budget is super low. But anyway, so I went over by $87 in that grocery budget, and then in the restaurant section I did go over. I budgeted $75 and ended up spending $127 for an overage of $52. And I will say that's a bummer, but it's the season of dating, I guess. I don't know. My partner and I, we get really nostalgic around the winter time because that's when we started dating. And so I don't know, I get all warm and fuzzy and I want to go on dates, and we ended up spontaneously going out. So there was just a couple times that it ended up being more than I would normally spend. So that's okay. I'll take it. We had good times together. Next up is my entertainment / essentially subscription section. First, I have Spotify for $9.99. Second, Amazon Prime for $6.99, and then Hulu unfortunately went over because I had the Black Friday deal for 99 cents a month, and then I forgot to cancel it in time to not pay the stepped up price for the I hit my 13th month on it. But I did also cancel that account and then start a new one that is $1.99 a month. So double paid it in November because I I suck. So anyway, moving right along, we get into my gym section here. I just added this section. This is new as of November. I had budgeted to start going to the gym that's near me that just opened, and then also possibly getting an online service like Les Mills or something like that, and then ended up just absolutely not doing that. So I ended up joining the gym instead, and they ran a special where you could buy several months and get one free. So I did that, and it ended up coming in under the 200, and that's great. So very happy there, and I love my new gym. I have officially been going for a little over a month now, and I'm just very happy with it. I'm starting to feel better. I'm only able to go like 3 days a week right now, and it was really hard at first, but I'm getting there. I'm trying to get my health back in check, so we're doing this. Next up, we will move into the miscellaneous section here. This is where my household and utility or toiletries, not utilities, are. I usually budget about 75. Sometimes I'm over, sometimes I'm under. This November was an overage of $22. Not too bad. This is like toilet paper, paper towels, Brita filters, stuff like that. Like really basic house stuff, and shampoo. And then personal spending, I budgeted $150, which is a lot more than I normally budget, double what I normally budget. But I had thought I might buy myself a watch for Black Friday, and I didn't end up doing that, but I did spend money on myself, and I did come in under budget though, which is fantastic. Very happy to have been under budget in the personal spending category for maybe the first time all year. I don't remember, but fantastic. Next up, my miscellaneous fund got a little out of control because 2 other subscription services ended up getting charged that I thought were canceled. So again, I didn't hit that cancel button fast enough. And then I also had like some random Walmart trips and stuff that I just didn't want to. I didn't know where else to include it, so I threw it in miscellaneous, out of basically laziness. But anyway, we'll just move on from that overage and the sadness with that and get over to my happy section where I have a savings and a sinking funds and give you a rundown. So in my Roth IRA, I put $250 in there as I planned to, so yay. And then for my after-tax brokerage, I did the same thing. I met my goal of $25. So $250 to IRA, $25 to brokerage, and that's invested, so that's fantastic. Next up, propane. I save a little every month because we only pay it essentially once a year. There's like 1 month where I buy a whole thing of propane and then I do a pre-buy. So it's usually like 2 purchases, but it's at the same time. And it's expensive. So $100 a month, and I'm going to have to up that for 2023. Next up, home. I budgeted $100 to spend and ended up spending $551. And I will say it was a little bit impulsive, but I bought a brand new sit-stand desk. So I have 2 sit-stand desks now. Probably don't need them. Like, it's not a necessity, but I love them. And that's part of the reason that my office is a wreck and I cannot, that's why I'm out here voiceovering, because everything is a mess. I don't have all of the like things in here to make it look nice yet. And I'm trying to like monitor mount and cable management, all that good stuff. So anyway, I spent way over in home, and that was for more than just a desk. I got some totes. I had to buy some flooring supplies at Menards, stuff like that. So went $450 over there. And then for vehicles, I came in $100 under because my car ended up needing, like an oil change and stuff, which was not bad. And so that was good. Came in under there. Did not put the excess in savings because I was over in other areas. Vacation. It should really say vacation/fun because I also spend it on just events. So I bought a couple tickets to a play, and that was $25. And then for gifts, I budgeted $350 optimistically again, and then spent $431. So not too bad. It is the season of giving, so I feel fine with that. I want to make sure that, like, I love giving gifts, and I know that you can show your love for people without giving them like a physical gift or anything monetary, but I like giving gifts, so that's what I'm doing. So anyway, but I am a practical gift giver. I really don't like to give people things they can't use. So with that, I do pick practical things typically. Anyway, family, I plan to spend $25, spent $51. That is typically like food for my mom or just things to help her out, like totes to help her like organize her house, whatever she needs, trash bags, whatever. Prescriptions, sometimes she asks me to pick them up and I don't ask for money back for that. Like, come on, it's like $12, no big deal. So anyway, that is the family fund, and it was just a little more than normal. And then, which is like actually extremely low, like as someone who is the first to graduate college and like have a, you know, career job and like, you know, make decent money in this area, only needing to supplement my mom by like $50. It's like dirt cheap, honestly. I'd spend far more on her if she needed it. So anyway, emergency fund, a great way to end my savings section is highlighting that I was able to put $500 into my emergency fund, which makes me a very happy girl. I am a nervous Nelly when it comes to recession, economy, worst case scenario thinking. So finally feeling like my emergency fund has enough cushion in there that like I really could get through an emergency feels great. I'm hoping to end the year hitting 5K in there. Right now it's only $47.50. So yeah, that 500 made a big difference. And then also, in all these sinking funds that I do have, like I consider all of that my like backup to the emergency fund. Like if I needed money, I could use my propane money early. It just would, you know, hopefully even out later on when I need the propane. So anyway, I do have a good chunk in savings, but the actual earmarked emergency fund is growing and finally feeling a little better. Like, you know, we could get through a couple months jobless if we really, really had to, which is fantastic. So anywho, that's the good news. Now we get to the income. I brought in 2 paychecks and then I rolled over a teeny weeny negative $16 for some V8 that I bought like literally October 31st. And then I pulled out some money from my gifts fund, knowing full well I was about to spend that money. I brought out $125. And then Rakuten actually came through in November and I got a $44 check from them. That's like a cashback site, really pretty useful site. It's not like a lot of money, but I've gotten 2 checks from them so far and they've both been in the 40s, which is great. And then Chase Rewards. So I have 2 JP Morgan credit cards. I have a Prime credit card and I have one of their Freedom cards. And so all the cash back that I had from those cards saved up all year, I cashed out for the season of giving. So, and personal spending, I guess. So yeah, I ended up being able to cash out a little more than I thought. So I cashed out $628.49, which is really great, a little bit, 40 something dollars over what I thought. And then I actually have a little hobby of doing resumes. So I very much enjoy helping my friends do resumes. I did quite a few in September and October helping people out. And then I decided to throw a post up on my Facebook and say, hey, you know, if anybody needs this, 15, 20 bucks, depending on what you need, I'd be happy to help. And I feel like that's a really affordable rate to create someone's resume or completely revamp it because resumes take time. So, and at my current job, I make like $32 an hour. So when I'm saying I'll do multiple hours of work for $15, it's a favor. So anyway, yeah, I ended up having a couple people ask me for help and I did resumes for them and they were pretty darn happy. So very happy with that. And then home withdrawal. So I took some money out of my home sinking fund. When you buy a big old desk and Menards trips and such, you gotta pull some money out of that sinking fund. So $455 out of there, and that is what evened out the budget at the very end of the month. I was like, all right, I'm over by $455. I'm gonna pull that right out. So that is how my budget looked. Let's see. Anything else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will not drag this out any further. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as always, and I will catch you in the next video.